Hi, this is Sunshine with One Heart, One Love 101, and I just wanted to chime in on the police brutality incident with George Floyd. I had to call my mom last night and ask her because I know she's been through several riots and massacres in the world dealing with racial injustices. And so I said, what is it about this particular incident with George Floyd that has everyone in such an uproar? Like I've been through the Rodney King incident, Trayvon Martin, and now this one, but this one has really went to the epitome and spread it out to different cultures. I know Rihanna had put on call for all the white people, her white friends and family, and Steve Harvey, like for them to start protesting as well. Like if you have a white friend and they think it's an injustice of black people getting hurt with police brutality, then stand up and protest with us. So they did that call to action, but I've just never seen it so massive where everybody's just standing on one accord with us. And I don't know if it was the celebrities request for the call to action or what, and then on the flip side of that, I see some people saying, well, these people are tearing up stuff in the name of Black Lives Matter, but they're not really for Black Lives Matter. So it's like, what do you believe? Where is like the line of decisiveness where you understand these people are for good, these people are for bad? Like, who are we to say who's doing what in the measure of the heart of any person? Nobody really knows. But ultimately, my mom's response to my question was, well, we've been in quarantine all this time for 2.5, 3 months. And now it's like we've been humanized again. They're not focused on electronics anymore. We were focusing on survival, and we have time to reflect. And now we get to see, because we don't have all the distractions that we had before with work and everything. So now we solely depend upon the news for information and social media. And so when this transpired, everybody, they just paying more attention to it, which I guess makes a lot of sense. It's just sad that we have to keep going through this decade after decade after decade. Somebody gets slaughtered in the street like an animal for no damn reason at all. And we actually treat our animals better than we treat our humans. So why is that? And I know in 1921 they actually just celebrated the anniversary in Greensboro, Tulsa massacre, Tulsa, Oklahoma. They had a prominent black community there. And, they had 2 theaters, banks. A lot of black entrepreneurs held their own, and they did not have to depend on the vices of European culture or their products, because we were strong with our dollar and we were economically educated. And sometimes I wonder if segregation was better than integration. I question if we should have remained segregated, because it seems to me like during those times of Black Wall Street, it seems like we took more pride in ourselves as a people, and we were more educated in our finances and how to become owners instead of buyers and consumers. Now that ended in a tragic massacre as well, because it started with an incident of a 19-year-old guy, Dick Rowland, and a girl, Sarah Page, and she was an elevator conductor, and I guess he tripped or whatever, he tripped on her, and she screamed, and so somebody witnessed it and said the man raped her. It said he raped her, and from that incident transpired the white people were upset with the black people. They were already envious because the black people were so strong economically, because they didn't need for anything, and so they became envious, and so they burned down all the houses, 32 blocks of houses, and slaughtered people in the street. And this is something that they hide from textbooks. This happened in 1921, May 31st. In year 1921. So read your textbooks. They're going to start putting them in the textbooks, actually, but do your homework, look at it on social media. It's called the Tulsa Massacre of 1921, and it's very devastating. And so the white people did loot. They looted all the black businesses. And so in today's times, they say, oh, these people, I hear people talking all the time, how can they be looting? I even said it. I was like, well, damn, that's not what this is about. That's not going to bring George Floyd back. But then I had to think about it. These kids been in the house for 3 months. Some of these parents, single mothers, single fathers, or, whatever the case may be, they have low-income families. Who's to say they haven't been stuck up in the house with no food, no income? That $1,200 stimulus check could probably only pay the rent. And at one time, you have to make a decision. Okay, we going to eat, or we going to pay for our shelter over our head? What's it going to be? So then they see this massacre, these riots going on, when they see people looting and they getting Nike shoes and TVs and Louis Vuitton and Gucci. There comes a time when the rubber meets the road and they're going to act on survival. So it's like, you can all judge what you're going to do, but until you're put in that position, can't nobody be the judge of what you're going to do if you're trying to survive. Yeah, some of them just did it for the sake of looting, but some people did it because they're going to sell that stuff. They're going to sell that merchandise or whatever. And me, I'm a business owner as well as a protester. This was a very pivotal moment for me. Some of my customers lost businesses in Santa Monica because they raided their businesses. That's heartbreaking to me. The Santa Monica instrument store, they ransacked it. That was my client's store. What do I say? Like, you can't say anything. You can't bring it back. And people say, yeah, we have insurance, but sometimes insurance doesn't even cover the cost of a riot. So, at the end of the day, we all just have to use sound judgment. And we have to go back to education. At the end of the day, financial education is what's going to stop all of this. I think racism comes from superiority. One person feels more superior than the next. Why? Because they feel like they have more. Once people start having the demeanor of wealth and confidence, they uphold themselves at a higher level. So that's just something to think about. I think financial literacy and education will help end racism, because at that point, we won't be counting on somebody else to give us a hand. We'll be giving it to ourselves like they did in Black Wall Street. So think about the education. Think about what you can do to make a difference in your community. These are the things that we're going to have to do as a community. We're going to have to reflect on our socioeconomic status so we can bring up our children in a way where they don't have to deal with this anymore. We have to put an end to generational ignorance and strive to do better for our children and our children's children. So I hope you guys think about what's next, and not only in your finances, but in your conscience, in your soul, in your spirit. Spiritual growth is a thing, and we need to grow in our spirit and grow as a generation. This is Sunshine with One Heart, One Love 101. Have a good day.